before Mike came there, I think I averaged like 27 or something like that, and we couldn't win. And I remember playing against the Lakers in the playoffs, and I knew an assistant coach, and they was like, "Yeah, we're gonna let you get yours," or something to that effect. And I just remember always loving having great teammates. You know what I mean? Like the shot, the shot. That's all you got to say in Sacramento. That Mike hit, like having a great player to be in that situation with is all I crave, because me and him gonna get on the plane, have a beer, and talk shit about everybody. You know what I mean? So I don't care who does this, and I've seen his work ethic. You know what I mean? I trust him. So to me, to me, having somebody I knew that was gonna go up against Kobe as hard as he could and come back every play, that's all I cared about, because most people can talk it, but they don't live it. Because there's no guarantee if the shot going in or not. The only guarantee is your heart.
Welcome back to Straight Game Podcast. We got my boy Mike Bibby and the one and only C Webb. C Webb, thank you for joining us, bro.
Yes,
oh,
sir.
No doubt, man. Anything for Mike, baby. You know it.
Hey, Webb, I want to start something now, Webb. So, as a kid, right, watching you guys, like you guys changed the whole game of everything. You guys came in with the baggy shorts, the black socks, the Hirachis. So kind of explain what went into that thought of that, because even like at my high school, we were called the Matadors. Same, I told Coach, we got to get the same yellow gold uniforms, the same navy blue uniforms. We got to wear black socks. We got to wear those Hirachis. So we wore the exact same things you guys had. Kind of give us went through your guys' mind of how that all set up of the black socks, baggy shorts, how y'all were going to change the game.
Yeah, so, it really was just representing where we were from. So, the Texas boys, Ray and Jimmy, were really proud that they were from Texas, and they rep that. Me and Jalen being from Detroit, we loved that, and Juwan being from Chicago. But UNLV was our favorite team at the time, the way they wore their jerseys. And actually, Illinois had a dope team back with Kendall Gill and Steve Bardeau and them. And they had shorts, and we wanted to take it to another level. It was just, we just wanted to play like we were playing in the parks. And we were lucky that at that time, Michigan won a championship like 2 years before we got there. And so it was great, but the year we got there, they had been terrible. And so Juwan was recruiting us like, man, we got a chance to do something special. We were friends in high school, and me and Jalen were friends. And so when we got there, it was just about, like, keeping our personality. You know what I mean? Like, we really didn't necessarily fit in on the campus. We really didn't necessarily fit in anywhere. We knew we were good players, but we just wanted to be ourselves, man. And so Coach Fisher allowed us to get the shorts that had the extra length in them, you know what I'm saying? And so, and black socks is a funny story. That's from Ray Jackson. And so Ray actually wanted to transfer his second year, because he like, man, forget this. I ain't getting no playing time. Coach Fish is always on me, things like that. And so we went to Texas to play Rice, and he bought some black socks. And he came back to the hotel, and Juwan and them was like, what's that? And he was like, man, I'm wearing these for the game as a protest. And they was like, oh, no, we wearing those. So they went back to the mall and got the socks, and then I was asleep. I woke up like, what's that? And they was like, man, take these black socks out. I was like, dope, where mine at? And so they gave me a pair, and, that's just how it was, man. We just wanted to be ourselves, and at the time, we were outcasts. Nobody really loved us or messed with us except people in the hood at that time. And so we felt like that was a representation of that, man. And so that's really how the black socks came about.
That shit, a lot of kids looked up to you, man. I know I was looking up to you guys. So I mean, it's just a whole thing. We'll get into all the stuff of playing with you, all that stuff. Ty would have asked you some stuff, man. I'm just excited to have you on, man. It's been a long time.
Oh yeah, no, that's what's up, man. Real hoopers, and it means a lot to hear those stories, man. Because before we went out on the court, we was like, we playing for our people. You know what I'm saying? We playing for those that, we want them to see us on the court just like, we saw ourselves and other players. So that's the best compliment that we get is when people say that, that they was a part of our journey. You know what I mean?
And just watching you guys be dogs out there, talk shit, do shit that nobody was really doing. You know what I mean? It made kids like me be like, you know what, shit, I'm gonna go there, talk a little bit shit, make a mean mug face, and just, you know what I mean, just do the stuff like that. It was a pleasure to get to watch you growing up, and it was a pleasure to get to play with you as well. So
thank you, man. It was like we had nothing to lose, man. You know what I mean? We were from Detroit, Juwan's from Chicago. No one really gives you a chance, you know what I mean? And even if you're a hooper and they give you a chance, they don't give your community a chance, they don't give your friends a chance. And so we were able to take all of that with us, and it's really because in Detroit we had like a basketball culture. So it was like Steve Smith. I know Jalen wanted to be Steve Smith. I wanted to be Derek Coleman and Magic Johnson and Barkley and Doug Smith. I could name Terry Mills. I could name so many players from Detroit that we wanted to be like and that we got to play with in high school and that dogged us when we were in junior high and dogged us when we were in high school. And so once I felt like, oh man, Derek Coleman, my favorite player, I blocked his shot. I don't want to hear nothing from somebody to go to Northwestern or Michigan State. You know what I mean? Let's get it rocking. So it was dope to be around, man, a bunch of people that you was on the same page and you felt like nobody believed in you and that you were all you had. And that's what, that's out of sports. That's really what I miss, that group of people saying, yeah, we know nobody believe in this, but let's go do this together.
So what's so crazy about it is the Black Sox was a national phenomenon. And I just found out that it started from Ray protesting. So I'm also from Texas. I'm from Dallas. And so I grew up watching Jimmy. And Jimmy, nobody really know Jimmy Hops was so stupid. Jimmy Hops was, am I lying? See what?
Man, Jimmy used to just float in the air, and he could float off 1 foot. I mean, he was one of the highest jumpers I've ever played with, and he was so smooth with it.
Yeah.
He could move laterally. He was quick, and the same with Ray, man. Ray is probably one of the most athletic players I've seen. He could have played football, but the way they got in and defended, how quick, how fast they were, but you could throw it up anywhere and they would go get it, man, and make it look easy. And so, yeah, man, that's when we was listening to Mr. Scarface.
Already. Yes, sir.
Before every game, messing with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, that happened. The Black Sox was when we played against Rice. And we wanted to show Texas what it was like. We was going back supporting Ray and Jimmy, and we wanted to pull out the Black Sox.
I love it. So one of my good friends is Maceo Baston, and he went to Michigan.
Yeah.
And I played with Lou Bullock in Spain.
Okay.
And we always had those stories, man. You guys, I really hope that you guys have received y'all flowers for literally changing the game. There's like AI changed the game in the NBA and Kobe, but in college basketball, the Fab Five, man, a Fab Five starter jacket? Are you serious, bro?
The Black Barclays, everything. Y'all brought the Black Barclays out, the Hirachis, man. Y'all were killing the web. Y'all were killing the web. So look, Webb, tell us about you got a book out, God's Grace. So talk to us a little about what got through that, like, hey, I'm gonna write a book, tell my story. What went through that thought process of you wanting to do a book?
Mike, it's just like you, man, watching you in Arizona and then watching you in the league and, all the things that you've been through to get to this point. A lot of people would just look at, the fact that you got a closet full of Jordans. I need some, by the way. There's the fact you got a closet full of Jordans and say, it was easy for him to get here. When, I've known some of the things that you've had to go through, especially playing at different levels and, what's being said. And so for me, how we stay focused during the season and have good friends you could joke with, but really you got to keep blinders on. So really at the end of my career, I just wanted to share, what it was like, going through some of the stuff that we had gone through, what it was like playing in Michigan or deciding to go to the University of Michigan, or when I met Jalen at 12 years old on the AAU team and us being on this AAU team that we got to name called the Super Friends, and just like all the blessings that happen, you know, from the players you meet to guys you still cool with to, you know, before our first AAU game, one of our teammates was shot and killed. You know what I mean? This is at 12 years old, and so just to, you know, to be blessed to make it this far, but to also, you know, one of the funny things is I got in there that I don't think many people knew about is that, you know, after, you know, whatever happened with the Lakers, you know, we got cheated that game. But
we're going to get to that, Webb. You know we're going to get to that.
You know, but I was talking about just how, you know, I sent everybody to hedonism. I don't know if you remember that. And Lawrence Funderburg, you know, sending him to an island full of naked people, you know, that's funny in itself. So, man, just trying to enjoy, you know, the good times and go back and look and thank people that was in my life, man. That's really all the book is about.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got so my time, I was in Vancouver for 3 years. I remember playing you guys the last game of the season. You know, in Vancouver, a lot of people didn't come watch us play. So you know how it is on the road. You got Vancouver Grizzlies coming in. You'll probably see 2,800 people in the crowd, 3,000. So I come to Sacramento. I remember last game of the season. I'm like, damn, this shit is sold out. Well, I know they ain't coming to watch us play. So I remember I was like, okay, that shit would be a great situation to be in. So, I mean, I had my best years there, going there with you and just playing in that situation, playing basketball again was a whole change for me. So I want to hear your side of the thing, kind of, because Jason Williams was a fan favorite. He was a team favorite. What did you guys kind of expect from me coming in, and how that changed? Because you're the best. I play with a lot of superstars, and I always tell people, you're the best superstar I ever played with. Yep. And it's a fact, the way you are, you held yourself accountable. You held everybody on the team accountable. By looking up, by seeing your best player on the team, holding themselves accountable, it trickled down to everybody else. So kind of talk a little bit about that and how you took the role of leader, because a lot of people on the team they're the best player, but they really aren't the leaders. You were the best player and you were the leader. So kind of get into that. If that was too much for you to do, I'll go back over it.
No, man, I loved it. I remember playing you, and you came down the lane, and I said something like, I don't know.
You said, come down there, I'm going to slap the shit out you in there again.
And the next play, you didn't even call the play. You just told him to move out the way, and you came down the lane. And I was like, yeah, I like that.
I remember that shit, too. That was in Vancouver.
That's what I was like, that's my man, you know. And so getting a chance to play with you, you know, I really didn't know what to expect, because we had like success in Sacramento, but we hadn't had success. You know, we had success for a team that hadn't been to the playoffs in many years and everything else. And we did some exciting things, but, you know, it was time to go to another level. And so I definitely miss playing with Jason. And I always say that when you came in, man, I didn't know what to expect, because I didn't know what to expect from our team at that time. We still were defining ourselves, and I still to this day put me and your pick and roll up against anybody that's ever lived. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so for me personally, it was great playing with a point guard like yourself that could handle the ball and that could dribble 90% of the time with the ball if they wanted, but also you could play off the ball. And a lot of people couldn't do that, and you wouldn't just stand in the corner, and you could finish layups. You know, one thing I say about Steph Curry, the reason why he's one of the best three-point shooters ever is because he could finish a layup. So you can't deny him. And that was the same with you. Like, whether you sped it up or whether you slow roll somebody, you always going to be finishing. You have one of the hardest workouts, probably the hardest shooting workout I ever experienced. Messing with you up there. You know what I mean? So,
we shot about 750 makes a day when we came out here, Ty. We sat there, we just sat it.
Yeah, because most people be lying about their makes, man. Most people lie about their y'all really, you know, doing it, man. And so, you know, and that's why, too, I love watching Golden State, because, you know, they're great and they're champions. And I'm not saying we made them great. However, their corner action That's our action. That playing where you can't check the two guys in the corner. The fact of a lot of the play that they have, and I love the fact, dog, that being the leader on that team with dogs like y'all, like you, Bobby Jackson, Doug Christie, Peja, like, you know, going up against our B team in practice was something.
Yeah.
You know, Cleves and them, Dale Wallace, they was coming at us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thunderberg. So I just love the culture that we created, man, and I love the basketball that we played. And I hear a lot of people, you know, it's funny when you retire, everybody nice. Everybody super nice on the scout report. And I just listen to guys and I'm thinking like, damn, I know they got good memories of the numbers they gave or something like that, but the memories we had on our team, man, is just...
We had some fun, man. And with me, I like I said, to get a chance to play with you and just watch the way you guys played was basketball to me. Yeah. Like I played in Vancouver for 3 years. Back then you played inside out. So I was kind of the third option out there as far as throw it to Sharif, he'll work, maybe a double team, maybe I'll get a shot, or Country, the same thing. But here it was like give you guys the ball. I remember the first practice, and I just passed and was just going to go to the corner because, I've been doing that for 3 years straight. And the ball whizzed past me. and Coach Carell, rest in peace, he was like, you know, he walked with this little, you better be ready, young fella, that's just going to hit you in the head. I was like, damn, okay, so this is basketball, man. And it was just playing with the two of the best passers, I think, that probably ever played the game, in Webb and Vlade. And just seeing the culture of the team and just how we were off the court got me ready for my next kind of thing when I went to Atlanta. I got traded to Atlanta because I watched you, I watched Vlade, I watched the older guys on our team kind of set the pace or set the scale for how a team's supposed to be and how it's supposed to have fun. I think we had the most fun. Like if I look back now, I think I made more fun in Atlanta, but that was probably the most fun that I ever had. We always had fun, man. On the plane, you're playing in between. We playing going to the room. We playing Madden. We had so much fun, man. It was just a great opportunity that there was a chance. I think they broke the team up too quick.
Yeah.
I got a question about that, Mike.
Yeah.
Like what the watching you guys play. Obviously, C Webb is C Webb, but you guys played as one. Like, and it was so obvious, man. It was obvious watching different teams, and with you being the superstar, you were such a willing passer. Like, where did that come from when? In this day and age, and even back then, the superstars got paid, and like you could literally get a bucket or get a foul 95% of the time you touch the ball. But where did your willingness to pass the ball? You mentioned Magic, but Magic is a Michigan State guy. So don't tell me you was watching Magic. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody loved Magic, man.
Right.
Magic. I was a Magic fan, but man, I learned early that, you know, before Mike came there, I think I averaged like 27 or something like that, and we couldn't win. And I remember playing against the Lakers in the playoffs, and I knew an assistant coach, and they was like, "Yeah, we're gonna let you get yours," or something to that effect. And I just remember always loving having great teammates. You know what I mean? Like, the shot, you know, the shot, that's all you got to say in Sacramento, that Mike hit. Like, having a great player to be in that situation with is all I crave, because me and him going to get on the plane, have a beer, and, you know, talk shit about everybody. You know what I mean? So I don't care who does this, and I've seen his work ethic. You know what I mean? I trust him. So to me, you know, to me, having somebody I knew that was going to go up against Kobe as hard as he could and come back every play, that's all I cared about, because most people can talk it, but they don't live it, because there's no guarantee if the shot going in or not. The only guarantee is your heart. And so playing with these guys, man, you know, I come back in every lifetime and come back with that same team, because, you know, it was about the heart. And so I saw from other series or other players we play with, that guy can get a lot of points, this and that. But if the whole team is not a threat, and if we don't play, and we had great coaches, man. That's Coach Kirill, Coach Adelman, Wetzel. I mean, so I just think it was just the perfect environment. Vlade being a great passer, people's temperament, man. So it was just some cool dudes on and off the court.
There was no egos. You know what I mean? Everybody knew Webb was going to get all his points and numbers, but after Webb, everybody knew it could be their night. That's what made it go good, and that's what made it hard to guard, because you could never come out there and be like, okay, they're going to run 5-punch, guy's going to pin down, guy's going to come up. We could never play that, because we'd throw it to the corner. It's either going to be a back screen or I'm going to throw it to Webb. Yeah. Rush screen off Red, Webb going to cut off me. Big guy, the point guard don't want to guard Webb. Webb going to have his way. I set pretty good screens, just getting the way. So it was just no egos, and that's what made us so good, man. Like I always tell this story about Vlade. Like no matter what kind of game Vlade had, Vlade was gonna be the same. He's gonna be running the car game on the plane. He's running in the middle. Yeah. What do you do? Whistle. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was just a great time being there. Like I said, I think they cut it off too early. We definitely got screwed. So you want to talk a little bit about that, Webb, to thinking the domination that we had that series and how it was taken from us. See, I got another guy on my side that can vouch for me now.
That's strong words, taken, Mike.
It was taken.
I'm with you. I'll start off by saying we should have won Game 7.
Yeah.
So
I always tell them, Webb, that just shows you how much better we were than them in Game 7. We go to overtime, 2 for 13 from the 3, under 50% from the free throw line, and we take the world champs to Game 7, overtime in Game 7.
Yeah, and that's what I hope the players today get back to. Don't get me wrong. I wish we didn't want to chip, and they took Game 6 from us. But the whole thing about it is that you're in the league, and if you get beat, they got to be damn good to beat you. Mm-hmm. And so when you think it took Kobe, Shaq, the most dominant, and Phil Jackson, those 3 Hall of Famers, with a player like Ron Harper that played with Jordan, that won championships, with Robert Horry, that bad man, you know what I'm saying? It's an honor to battle, man. It's an honor to be in the ring, not just sit and talk about or hate on someone or that. And I can say, we got done in Game 6, and we should have won. And I know how good we are, but just being able to live that true rivalry, man, that's a blessing. When I think about, man, nobody, man, have 20,000 cowbells nowhere. You can't even get people to put on the home team's T-shirt in the stand. Right. So it's a blessing to be part of all that, man, and to have those memories.
Quick question, or I need some advice. So I'm an assistant coach with the Las Vegas Aces, and obviously we got Asia Wilson.
Oh yeah.
When I tell you she's so good, bro.
Bad lady.
Bro, she's so good, man.
Yeah.
And so we're challenging her. You need to get at least 5 triple-doubles this year. Because every single year, every single possession, she's getting double teamed, and she's just so bigger, quicker, and faster and stronger than everybody. But the patience. Like, where did your patience come from? Or was it somebody you emulated to absorb the double team and have that ball up high and make the reads and have the foot? Like, where did that come from?
Man, you know what? Having a system you can depend on is needed for a player to trust. That helped me a lot in Sacramento. And so in playing in Washington with Jawan, I could trust him. Or even the Tracy Murray or Legler shooters that I got with, but it wasn't like our play for special. Or it wasn't me and Mike Bibby where they're pushing Mike down and I look at him and he throws to me and I throw it right back to him because that was part of our system, right? And so what I would encourage her, or even say Jordan, remember when, he was shooting so much and he didn't trust the triangle system because if you trust the system, you got an expectation. So in the system, if I look at Mike, I push it back down, I'm going to throw him the ball and turn around because I know he made the shot. and I can trust it. You see what I'm saying? Whereas if you're a coach, and it's some NBA coaches that their team has high expectations. There's players that were traded last year. There's players that were traded last year and other things where you're saying the coach got to help them get some points right here. You can't just go play 45 minutes, play defense, and go score. Whenever you hear, and not that you're saying this, but, the pet peeve of mine, wherever you hear a coach say, attack the rim, get a good shot. What does that mean? What's the system?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when she knows that, hey, every time the double teams come from this way, I got that other corner wide open. If she has a shooter there, she's going to trust that shooter. Yeah. If she doesn't, she's going to go to that next option. So I would tell her to dive into the system. That way she can hold players accountable, because when she gets to double team, where are they going to be?
Yep.
That should be the question.
Yep.
When the double team come, I need someone to cut. I need someone to space. And the best thing about our team, and I'll go to Golden State with this too, it's hard cutting 10 times and you might get the ball 2. But when you cut like that, and that's what Mike and Bobby Jack and them used to do, we got you all game, and we would play with you. We wouldn't even pass it to them the first 3 quarters. Then after they hit 5 threes and you think they're going to, shoot a 3, it's back cut, easy layup, and we take your heart. It's like running for it on 4th and 4 late in the game and you get a first down. So I used to just love, just playing with teams because we knew the players that we had, what we could do, and, we had some good teammates, man.
No, that's really good, man, because everybody expects Asia to put the work in, to average these crazy numbers. But even though they're not at the same level as her, the work ethic is the same. And that's what I hear that you guys did. Even though Bobby cut 10 times and got only the ball twice, those other 8 times, he was expecting the ball, which softens up the defense. And so that's really important. I got to ask you, bro, what's your thoughts on the AD and Luka trade?
You know what? I think Luka's one of the best players ever. I love Luka's game, and I was surprised. I couldn't believe it. And it's the league, and I got traded at 25. I've seen great players get traded, and I know it's a guards league, and if other guards feel comfortable going at you, I think that can be an issue. I don't know if it was money. I don't know why Dallas did it. But now is the time, because it seemed like, some players like myself, we were like anti-Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to be Hollywood. We want to come in here and shut it down and have y'all walk out of here quiet. It seemed like that's who Luka was, and now he has to like L.A. So I'm interested in how he's going to make that work. But right now is that moment in the sand. He's a dog. He's great. But either he's going to get better from this or either what they said, is true and it's going to get exposed. And it's just going to get exposed at a young age. But I'm interested to see, what he's going to do when AD and those guys get healthy, when they play a full roster. Yeah. But I'm also interested to see, you see he's been giving a lot more effort on defense, and I think that's because of the criticism.
Yep.
Yeah. So Webb, I forget I don't know what year it was. I remember we were playing in Dallas. You got injured. I know I don't know if you talk about it or not, but I remember it's like it was yesterday. We're in the game. We're in Dallas, and it's a close game. And you go, hey, come off of there and just throw it by the rim. I'm going to go get it. If I don't dunk it, I'm going to grab it and put it in. I look at the clock. I was like, Webb, you sure you want to? Why not just give you the ball and just let you work? He's like, nah, just throw it up. I'll go get it. So I remember coming off, throw it up. And as soon as you went up, the way you landed, I was like, damn. Kind of walk us through that. And then after that, getting traded from Sacramento to Philly and playing with a Hall of Famer, Allen Iverson, another guy that changed the culture of the NBA and all that stuff too.
Yeah, Mike, I remember we were, Dallas was like our little brother. We used to smack them around, and I was researching this for the book. Actually, you know, like they had led the league in scoring. If you remember how cold Finley, Nash, and Dirk was at that time, we had never seen anything like Dirk. He had you coming out playing, you know, past the 3-point line, the pace that they played. We had the fastest pace in the league, and so we had beat them twice in the playoffs. And so this new year, you know, we had just lost to the Lakers the last year, and we were on our revenge tour mission. So we were thinking about the next series.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was we were up 2-1 in the series, and they had gotten up on us, and we were like, man, these are little brothers. We'll come back. Don't worry about that lead. I remember asking coach to stay in, and they were overplaying me. And I gave you that look, and you threw me the oop, and it just felt like somebody shot me before I even landed. It was
rough on our end to see your best player go down and just feel like all the hope like came out of us, like all the air came out of us, like damn, like what are, like we're like little kids like lost without our big brother, you know, like man, shit, what are we gonna do now? You know what I mean? And it just the situation, it was tough. It was hard to see, you know what I mean? Just as far as being like a brother to you and teammate like that was hard to see, man.
Man, everything flashed between my eyes because you just know, man. And
yeah,
it's crazy because Mateen and Gerald Wallace took me off the court.
Yeah,
I remember thinking like, damn, man, I'm letting everybody down. This shit ain't gonna never be the same. I knew it. I knew it right then because again, we had just gotten our heart broken the year before, and we're coming back like, here we come. And so yeah, for it to happen, and then, you know, then to be in Dallas some weeks, you know, later, a year later, coming back, and, you know, I had a great comeback, great recovery in the system. Everything's going well, and I'm thinking we could do this even if we have to adjust and, you know, Page to take over, let us do this, that we got enough talent. And then being in Dallas, going to Dallas, you know, and them telling me that I was traded in Dallas. Or actually, you know, what's funny is I had a no-trade clause.
Dang.
And my dumb ass... So the GM called and he said, you know, Chris, we got an offer for you and this and that. And I said, who? And he said the 76ers. And he was like, so what do you think? And so I remember thinking, wait, he didn't call my agent. He called me. Y'all don't want me?
Was that Petrie?
Yeah, Petrie. I was like, and my mom was like, y'all don't want me after everything I've done? This is, I said, Jeff, are you kidding me? I said, Jeff, there was a deal on the table for me to go to the Lakers for Eddie Jones, Eldon Campbell, and Nick Van Exel. You told me that I couldn't go. Like, I don't know if you remember this, but I got to Sacramento late. I didn't go. I boycotted. I was not going to Sacramento. And so I'm like, after all this, you going to do this to me? I was like, I signed to be with the organization after. Like I told them. The reason why I'm signing here is because I want to be part of the team forever. I believe in the community. And when this is over, because Joe Dumars was in Detroit, and I was like, when this is over, I want to be like Joe Dumars in Detroit. I love Sacramento. Let me be part of the organization. And so when he's telling me this, I'm in the hotel. I can't believe it. So I didn't call my agent. I really kind of regret this moment. I didn't call my agent. I didn't call anybody. I said, do it. I'll never beg you for anything. Something, I don't know. But that's how that happened. But then, like 2 minutes later, AI called and was like, what up, man? I'm like, man, what's up, man? Let's do it. But, you know, Philadelphia was so cool to me, man, because it's crazy. My knee was shot then, but I still, you know, played well with Allen. You know, we led the league in scoring at that time. But, you know, watching him, man, every night, that was something, man, I couldn't, you know. He's a cold player, man, and if he would have a system and been in systems like ours, it'd have been great for him too. But yeah, getting traded, you know,
we played you like the next game.
No, so it's crazy. The very next game, like I went out with y'all at the hotel. I was in the same hotel with y'all before the game. You know what I'm saying? So when I think of Luka going back home, it's crazy because I get traded. And my first game back is against y'all in Philadelphia, man. Yeah.
That's how they do that shit, man. It's the same thing when I got traded from the Kings to the Hawks. We played one game in L.A. We was in Sacramento the next game. in Sacramento.
It's a dirty game.
Yeah, it is.
Dirty game. Yo, Webb, you said something very interesting, man. And you said when you got hurt, you felt that you let the city down. Like the pressures that the superstars go through. And even now, these young kids are going through it and they're putting that pressure on them to be perfect. Like would you mind talking about the pressures and how you got through it? Because I have a 14-year-old, Mike has kids, you have kids, and they put this unnecessary pressure on themselves to be perfect in an imperfect game, in an imperfect world. But how did you deal with the pressures of being Chris Webber?
Man, so I had good family around.
Yeah.
I definitely had God in my life, and I knew it was something bigger than me. And I knew it was something bigger than me. And the thing that validated everything for me was the amount of practice, bro. Like that's what I don't like about the NBA today is that, or that's what I don't like about some sports today is that if you shoot 24% from the corner, you're not supposed to shoot that shot.
Right.
You got to pump a drive and give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Today it's like you deserve to shoot the shot. You don't deserve to shoot the shot.
Right.
You deserve to shoot the shot. If you Klay Thompson and you go 0 for 52,000, you can shoot the next shot because Klay puts that work in the gym. So to me, the only thing that validates that confidence is what you do in the gym, not even in the games. It's what you do in the gym, because if you do it in the gym enough, you'll come to the point where your muscle memory and your attitude match. If you do it in the gym, you'll see yourself getting better. If you do it in the gym, it is you'll know when it's natural. So to me, I don't want kids to put too much pressure, and that's a whole nother story because, kids today, they don't even play pickup ball with each other. You know what I mean? Tip out 21 or anything like that. So kids, come on, man. Like you got to
learn how to dunk.
You got to enjoy the game, you know what I mean? So hopefully for the kids, they enjoy it, but they got a lot more distractions than we had. You know what I mean? Like growing up, all I had was the bloopers NBA tape. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was cool, but we wore that out. Where today they get to see a guy's lifestyle, what he's eating, what he's doing, and hopefully they're taking that and doing the workouts. Because if I would have had that then too, to be able to see Kevin Durant 7 foot, 2 pull-up dribble, 1 pull-up dribble, you know what I mean? And not necessarily with a trainer, but with your dad and in the backyard and playing around and understanding the game. So hopefully, sports culture is a whole different thing, and that's a whole conversation on the kids having pressure. Don't want that, but the way to take it off is to go in the gym, because when, everybody else on their tablets playing video games, out chasing girls, if you're in the gym, you're going to see a difference. Yeah. You're going to see a difference. I was telling a friend today, like, some kids don't know how to play because they know all drills, but you used to have to go on the court, play with 4 guys you didn't know, give up the first couple jumpers, make yourself feel important or be important by getting a rebound, giving it up, game-winning shot on the line, 10-10, win by 1. You give it to the oldest guy and get to the next game, but you don't know personalities. You don't know how to keep this guy geeked, over here playing in dress shoes, and you just want him to rebound, give him a couple shots. You know what I mean? So just knowing the game and knowing people, I think, is something we get back to. But hopefully these youngers are having fun, because if they're not having fun, you don't want to be stressed playing basketball and not having fun, man.
I think this generation of kids, they lack imagination, right? Like I remember being in the backyard hitting the game winner, just like Mike did. Like I would, and I would compare that to, even now I talk about boxers who shadow box. Like imagine their imagination. They're having a full fight with a shadow. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the power of imagination, because you can visualize it and then apply it on the court. And so getting back to your dominance, right? I'm an assistant coach with USA Basketball, and people don't realize there's a 4-year window to qualify for the Olympics. And we're the only league in the world that don't stop. So we used G League players to qualify for the World Cup, America Cup, and then eventually the Olympics. And so this particular window, we just played Puerto Rico and the Bahamas. Actually, last week we did. So our head coach was Stephen Silas, myself as assistant coach, and Patrick Ewing. And so Patrick is like the biggest teddy bear, the dopest dude ever. But last week, we beat the Dream Team. Netflix special came out. and so we're watching it, and I'm saying, Pat, do you remember this? He said, hell yeah, boy, they kicked our ass. I don't know what coach was talking about. We was trying to win. He said, man, I said, and it was right when I said that, it was a picture of you dunking up under the basket with that. It's a dope ass picture. And I said, bro, how good was Sewell? He said, man, he was a problem. He said, I remember that night, me and Charles talking about Sewell and how good he is and how good he's gonna be. But please talk about that particular day, the only team ever to beat the Dream Team.
So it's crazy because, like, when I get there, I get off the plane and Larry Bird is there. And I'm looking at him, and I can't believe he's that tall. You know what I'm saying? He can't be that big. You know what I mean? Because at the time, everybody was separated by position. And you hearing he was small forward, and he my height. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know. And so Magic and Jordan and Stockton and Barkley's my favorite player, and Patrick Ewing. I had the Patrick Ewing conductors growing up, and David Robinson, the mailman. You know, back then there was no social media, so you know you didn't get to meet these guys, all your superheroes in one room. And so the culture is that I knew I was nervous, and this is something special, and these are my heroes that I know everything about them, and they're saying you can't be a sucker. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to come with it. Mm-hmm. And so the night before we practice, we have fun, all that good stuff. It's like a dream. I didn't know we were going to scrimmage against them or just be behind them doing drills. And so we come into the gym where we're practicing in the gym, and then they bring us over to this other gym, and we walk up top and we look over, and they're in there hooping, and I just couldn't believe it. I'm looking at Michael's shoes, I'm looking at their jerseys, how they wear their clothes, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it. Then they walk us down there and tell us we're going to scrimmage. And, you know, for me, I'm passionate, so for me, it's like all I keep thinking about is everybody at home on Biltmore, everybody in Detroit. And I'm in the huddle damn near crying with tears in my eyes like, dog, we get to play against our heroes. Because it was like the perfect matchup. It was Hurley against Stockton. It was Grant against Jordan. It was Mashburn against, Magic. It was me against Barkley. It was us against all our heroes. Mm-hmm. And so everybody had their own incentive and ready to play. And for me, I just heard my AAU coach Harb saying, dunk it, like everything he would tell me to dunk growing up. And I needed a story to tell our families about. You know what I mean? We just, man, we getting out running, man. Hurley is getting it. Allen Houston is one of the best shooters ever, and he's knocking down threes. Penny is cold. Penny's getting everywhere that he wants to. Mash is doing it. And really, we caught them slipping because the first day we played hard. You know what I mean? We played hard. And, in sports, if you don't play hard, you're going to lose. And they were being nice and filling each other out. And to me, this was our championship game. You know what I'm saying? So we really beat them at the end of the day. I was very close with Chuck Daly. And, he was giving us a lot of praise. And he was happy that we won. You know what I mean? Because the next day, I don't think he ever had to say anything. Because the next day, man, we didn't score anything, man. Like we scored 11 or something. We didn't score, man. Michael Jordan was in the lane denying passes. They was blocking our shots, talking shit. Like, the next day we were humble. We were humble bad, but it didn't matter. It was like I was talking shit about we beat y'all yesterday. It was a dream come true, man. It was something that I definitely never forget, man.
Mike, what's so crazy? If the rule didn't change, C. Webb's team would have been the Olympic team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you guys would have represented us in the Olympics if the rule didn't change.
Yeah.
So was y'all salty about the rule change?
You know what? I definitely was salty, but truthfully, it was something that we never seen before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the spread of basketball to have our best players at that time. You know what I mean? Magic was retiring, and the changing of the guard was coming. So I'm glad the world got to see the dream team, because that's why we have so many great international players today. I believe because of 30 years back ago, their parents were watching Michael Jordan and them, and then they got them into basketball. So we were a little jailed about it, but not really, because we just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Man.
Shout out to Rodney Rogers, man. Rodney Rogers was also on the video. I just want to shout out him, man. I was a big fan of him, and to see him, reminisce a little bit. I thought that was super, super dope.
Yeah, shout out to Rodney. He definitely, he had an accident on ATV, and it paralyzed him. But in spirits, he's great. He still talks about shit, and I always laugh because he had to check Larry Bird, and Larry Bird gave him a pump fake in the corner and told him, "Welcome to the parachute club," and knocked down the 3 in the air. So shout out and prayers for our boy Rodney Rogers, man.
I was gonna say, who talked the most shit out there?
Bird and Magic, because I don't know if you ever played at the UCLA runs with Magic.
I didn't get to play there.
Yeah, you too. But he would cheat. You too young. He wouldn't cheat. He wouldn't cheat, but he was Magic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if it's a foul at the end, you like, ain't no foul. You got to give him the ball.
Yeah. So his team gonna win at the end of the game, regardless if it's 10-10.
Yeah, he couldn't do that. It was crazy, Mike. The one thing I remember about Magic, I don't think in life I ever seen somebody take the ball out and push it up as fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was his advantage, because he wasn't fast. You know what I'm saying? But he quick. So if I'm always coming, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always got you on your heels, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking, man, you got to be in shape to play with Magic. I just remember him taking the ball out after every make and being like, damn, he down the floor already. But Larry Bird. But the second day, we couldn't get nothing inside. David Robinson was blocking everything. Pat Ewing. Because that's the first time you think about it, Pat Ewing get to play the 4, or David Robinson get to play the 4, or they both get to play the 5 with, someone, their height. So, man, that was an experience, though, I'll never forget, man.
So tell us, give us your Mount Rushmore of power forwards, Webb, including you. You got to be on there. So give us 4 guys that will be up there with your face.
Ooh. Oh, man. 4 in the Mount Rushmore. Okay, I'll definitely say myself. Mm-hmm. I got to say Karl Malone. He's number 2 scorer of all time.
Mm-hmm. He'll fuck you up, too.
He'll bust you up. Dang, power forwards. Oh, man, I know I'm going to forget somebody. Is KG a power forward?
Yeah, I think he was 4.
Okay. I don't think Tim Duncan was a power forward, though. I think Tim Duncan was a 7-foot center.
You know what I mean?
I'm 6'9", man, at power forward. They 6'11", 6'12", 6'13". I would have to. Yeah, I got to say myself, Karl Malone, KG, and Tim Duncan, and Dirk. I got to put Dirk in there.
Dirk, okay. That's a good one.
Yeah, I had to put Dirk in there. Yeah, at least in my era. That's when it was tough, and you had to play him, every night. And then you got a dose of Rasheed Wallace, Brian Grant, and
you would say Charles Barkley?
Oh man, see, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, man. Let me. Dang, that's hard, man. Mount Rushmore is just 4, huh?
Charles was a problem.
Include you. Just do it one. You got to give me 3. There's 4 on there, right?
Yeah, so Tim is a center. I'm going to go, okay, Barkley, myself, KG, and Karl Malone.
I gotta ask you the question. I mean, the people want to know, what in the hell, or where your confidence come from to do transition behind the back and dunk on Charles Barkley, bro. Like like the arrogance that you have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, golly, bro. Like, where'd that come from, man? Like, talk us through that.
Yeah, I think I took it from Charles, man. He was my basketball hero. And at the time, he wasn't afraid of anything. And that's how you have to take that fear, it's no such thing as courage if fear isn't involved. So I definitely was scared out there with Chuck, but you have to have courage. And that's what you got to have players that play well. Like Mike and them, we would pass it up. Mike knows a lot of guards don't pass it up.
Yeah.
They dribble up the half court or they want to make sure they get their assist. And so when Spree got that steal, he passed it up and gave it to me in perfect timing where I could take a dribble and play around and do something. And so I used to love going behind the back, and I just wanted to throw Charles off because I knew he could jump with me or was going to try to foul me. So I just wanted to get up something quick before he tried to foul me, and I was able to do that. But shout out to Spree who threw it up and allowed me to get some timing with it.
That's classic.
Yeah, it was. So we'll give you a few more questions, Webb. I want to congratulate you on finally having kids. I know I used to get on you a lot back in the day because used to show love to all my kids growing up. You pick them up, swing them around, and my oldest daughter remembers that to this day. And she was probably 3-4 years old back in the day. So congratulations on getting your kids. And for the last question we got for you, what is next for you? What is on your plate? What you have going on?
Yeah, Mike, right now, Mike, I've been able to get a little bit of rest with kids and everything and have fun with family. And now, man, I got my second win and, really getting back into the business of basketball. And so right now, just looking at a couple of options, whether it's commentating or coaching. And I really want to get back into it, man. I love it. I want my kids to be raised in basketball, sport, and culture like your family was, from going to games together to, sports takes you so many different places in life as well. Your attitude, how hard you work, how you approach things. And so I want them to grow up in that. And so right now we have a bid on the WNBA team to bring the Shock back to Detroit, or WNBA team back to Detroit with Tom Gores, the owner of the Pistons. And we're excited. We should hear an announcement about that real soon. I think it's been some announcements that haven't been true, some premature announcements, and so hopefully we'll hear some good news about that. And then I think there's some opportunities, Mike, on the other end as well. Again, as I told you earlier in the interview, I thought now if you would have asked me what it had been, I thought I would have been, in the offices of Sacramento doing some things and bringing you guys back and having fun, and all that. Like, I still have time to. I want to win a championship. It's great basketball minds just on this Zoom right here. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of, a lot of sports left in me. And so I'm excited about seeing what this next step, holds, but it's definitely to do some things in the sporting world. And, we'll see. And when I do have some announcements, you got to have me back on so we can talk about it.
I got you. We got you. You already know that. I want to appreciate you, Webb, coming on with us.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, I don't get to talk to you as much. I know you're busy and stuff, but like I said, give you your flowers now, man. You're probably you are the best superstar that I've ever played with.
I appreciate it.
You upped my game, and I just seen what it took to get that success, and I wanted to have it too. So I appreciate it, man. Love you to death, bro.
I love you too, Mike. I appreciate you, baby. Thanks,
appreciate it, man.
I'm Ty Ellis. I'm Eddie House, host of the Straight Game Podcast.
Each week, we're bringing you real, raw conversations
About sports, life, and family. Tap into Straight Game wherever you get your podcast. You can also watch all episodes on YouTube.